And welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, 6040 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway, and much like an aircraft carrier's toilet, we are backed up full of stuff, and we're going to start spinning your general direction. But more on that later. We missed you.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. We had some internal issues and some travel, but we are back. So get ready.
Mm-hmm. We both moved to Arizona, which is now our new state, which is great. I don't know, what's our team now? The Cardinals? Is that who we're all about?
Yeah, we're Bird Gang.
Yeah. We're also a home of what's it called? Cyber coders. When I did that audit, they're like, oh yeah, we're funded by the Republicans. We're going to find things, and they just found more votes for Biden. Yep. We're both people.
Yeah, so Arizona, pretty. I'm not going to lie, this is terrible. This place sucks.
We just moved here. Well, yeah. Today's also the
thanks.
Yeah, today's a 4-year anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine. Can you really call it a special operation at 4 years?
No, it just kind of becomes new norm.
Yeah, like if you go and say I'm going to tidy up a garage and you're in there for 3 days, like you're past the tidying up. You live there now.
Yeah, like if you wake up one morning and somebody punches you in the balls, you know, that's a story for that day. If it happens every day for 4 years, that's just your life, pal.
What else did we miss during the absence here? We've been gone for quite a while.
Well, as a newly engaged man, I did do a little research. 4 years anniversary of this Ukrainian aggression. It would be the Lenin anniversary. So file that under useless knowledge.
So we should go ahead and say that Putin's probably sending him a noose. He's like, on the 4-year anniversary, hang yourself.
Yeah, it's 4 years of Eastern aggression.
Why did you stop invading yourself? Stop invading yourself. Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
Now I know you've been out and traveling, so I don't know how in depth you went on this, but I absolutely wormholed, punched the Japanese monkey.
I saw something about that. I mean, I looked into it. It's apparently you've done a lot more diving on this than I have.
When I tell you I could not pull myself away, it was brutal. For those of you living under a rock, Punch the monkey is a little macaw from the Japanese zoo, and its mother rejected it right off the bat from birth. So it was raised for 6 months with zookeepers. And then once they reintroduced the monkey to, the rest of his monkey buddies in the monkey house, they kicked the ever-loving hell out of poor Punch. They all rejected him, beat on him pretty good, ragdolled him a little bit. And little Punch's only friend is a stuffed orangutan that he's, basically using as a surrogate mother. It was brutal. It was terrible. And if there was ever a time to have a president who just rage tweets at 3 a.m. and just starts making threats, Trump didn't take this opportunity to be like, I am sending this armada to Japan if you don't get this Punch the monkey thing taken care of. Been treating very unfairly. This was the moment. This was his moment. He could have really, made me go, well, you know what? Does he need to get impeached? But you failed again. How do you fail at rage tweeting?
I'm actually going to put a little bit on this on the zookeeper. Like, if you don't want your monkey to be abused, maybe not name him Punch.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm assuming it means something else otherwise, but, I don't know. What are the chances the rest of those Japanese monkeys speak English?
Why did they give him an English name? That's probably why he got abused. But yeah, I actually ended up Googling, do monkeys get abandoned? And it's not common, but apparently it does happen.
Yeah. So, honest to God, blood feud with Punch's deadbeat mother. Don't ever catch me outside of a bar. And yeah, buddy, I was ready to fly to Japan and start fighting monkeys.
I know you. It takes a lot to get you on an airplane.
Yes, it does.
I know.
Which is why we had to drive to Arizona.
Yeah. Just have it at the bird stadium, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever our new fake location is.
Yeah, real. So let's get into the stuff. We have a bunch of stuff. Like I said, we're like a backed up toilet, so let's start spewing things in your general direction. Tesla ticker. About 2 weeks ago, it was 417. It dipped under 400, ended up at 410 a day. And one of the reasons it actually rallied is because Musk did start the production of a cybercab, which he said was going to actually happen. If you remember last time, they're like, yeah, man, we're not doing cars anymore. We're moving away from cars. Like, they killed the X line and the Model S. And now they just went ahead and announced, like, yeah, the Cybertruck is actually now dirt cheap. They've got it down to about 63 grand for an all-wheel drive one, but whereas before it used to be 80K. But the only catch is, you have to get it in the next 10 days. So, yeah, clearly, the price was what's really keeping people from getting a Cybertruck.
So, we talked earlier. You said Elon Musk himself had purchased like 20,000 of these or some ridiculous number. Do you think he's buying them at the 63,000 price point, or
who knows? He's got a bunch already. Like, they're just using them. They were talking about using their computing power just for XAI, and it's like, it's repurposing things like that you bought like on a drunken bender, like the Amazon package showed up at your house, and you're like, uh-oh, like, we got to find a use for these things or my wife will kill me.
Yeah, slight pivot. I miss that, Alex. I miss the I got drunk and bought a bunch of stuff online. We need the 6-foot duck.
I did end up, what's it called? We stopped by Buc-ee's on the trip from Missouri to Arizona, and there's a Buc-ee's there. We went to one, or we built one. But I stopped by there, and I did want to buy a lot more stuff. That place is wild. Have you ever been there?
I have never been.
It is like the ultimate gas stations. There's at least 60 to 80 pumps at each one of these. Like, on the way there, we stopped by one, and it was still under construction. And it was one of the biggest like heartbreaks we've ever had. But on the way back, we made sure to stop by, and never like Buc-ee's that was open. And I ended up getting like something for the seatbelt, and it had that stupid beaver. And even their shot glasses are like $9. I'm like, I want a shot glass, but this is too much. So old Alex is gone. New fiscally responsible Alex is here.
So I'm guessing that's a no-go from for my present from the jerky aisle.
No, you get nothing.
We
did stop by a place called Uranus, and it's a chocolate fudge factory.
Love it.
I again got you absolutely nothing.
Also fair. It's fine. We're shredding for the wedding.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll hook you up when the wedding comes. But
speaking of no longer eating food.
Yeah. So last time we talked to you guys, we talked about Ukraine was actually trying to get a bunch of Starlink terminals turned off, and give credit where credit is due. Elon has come through and they have shut it down. It might be because of the fact that while we were gone, Russia went ahead and launched a Shahed drone into a passenger train, and they had a Starlink terminal on it, so that might have been one thing. But the train's actually being brought over to Kiev right now for all the world leaders who are showing up, and he's actually showing, like, hey, man, this is the cost, like, what a war is. But I'm sure Russian intelligence is like, hey, it was a giant howitzer when we were looking at it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely filled with Antifa terrorists here to disguising themselves as citizens or some such.
Like, why do you go after an actual train full of like passengers? Like, you can't hide an actual like armored column on it. Like, you know who's going in there. Like, you're just only the Israelis right now are doing worse. Like, Jesus, they're bombing schools. These guys like, all right, well, we'll just go ahead and take out this Amtrak real quick.
Well, I guess there's probably a better chance there was some sort of military intervention on a train rather than the grocery stores they were disguising themselves as.
Yeah. Fine. We'll go after metal objects which have a chance of living.
Yeah, let's go after this retirement home now.
So, what's it called? So Elon did turn off a bunch of these terminals, but just kind of like our president right now, the Russians are not taking no for an answer. And they looked online and they saw a bunch of ads that said, hey, buddy, we'll vouch for you and get your Starlink terminal turned back on, but just give us some dollars. But it turned out this whole thing was actually done by Ukrainians. So it was the 256th Cyber Assault Division and volunteers from a group called Inform Napalm. So when all these terminals get shut down, they start going online and like, hey, man, we'll go ahead and take care of you. And some of our Russian service members ended up sending up to $5,000 to these places thinking they're talking to Ukrainian, which was all about like helping out the Russians, and that was not the case.
You know, Ukraine is just finding new fun ways to just be the ultimate pain in the ace. And I'm for it, man. This is fantastic.
Like it screwed them all up. Like they're out there like, oh, Starlink's gone, and there've been reports. Some actual people on the front lines, they've experienced a lot less attacks. Some people, they haven't seen a difference. But like the Russians got their terminals turned off. They're like, oh look, here's an online ad. They called them, and when you go and say like, hey man, this is my Starlink terminal, you punch in the serial code. Now the Ukrainians know that terminal's you. So as soon as they got these codes, they're like, cool, now we're going to send our drone over here real quick. And they started pelting these positions with howitzers. In addition, at first getting $5,000 in cash out from them.
Yeah, paying for your own whooping is new. But you know what? Glad Ukraine found a way to do it.
Like, it's wild. First they take your money, then they send you a drone to kill you. Like, you know what? Awesome. I love every second of it.
Oh, Slava Ukraine.
Yeah. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered a televised speech accusing Ukraine of threatening Russian energy pipelines with the help of Western intelligence agencies in a push to sabotage peace negotiations. In case you're wondering what the reason is for not having peace, it's apparently Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian oil and gas company Naftogaz said Russian drones have attacked gas production infrastructure in northeast region in Kharkiv. So the exact same thing that Putin said Ukraine is doing, he went ahead and did himself.
It's almost like every accusation is really just an admission of what they're doing.
Yeah. Where else have we heard about this one right here?
Something Epstein. Anyways.
So, speaking of Epstein, it's fresh off the news of a Dow being at levels that we're allowed to touch kids now and get away with it. Reacting to the court's ruling, the U.S. president initially announced a new temporary global tariff of 10%. He later said on Saturday that he'll go ahead and do 15%. And this is in regards to the actual Supreme Court striking down Trump's earlier tariffs. And honestly, like they said, like there was no reason given for why he did it from 10 to 15. And using Occam's razor, it's because he doesn't know. Like, he thought of a number, saw it in the toilet, like, kind of like, what's it called? The alphabet soup. He's like, oh, there's a 10 in there. And then later on, he saw, like, a 15. He's like, I'm going to do 15% tariffs. And that's most likely the reason.
Yeah, applying logic to an illogical situation only drives you insane. So, just trust he knows what's best for us.
So, have you heard about Cantor Fitzgerald, the company?
Oh, yeah.
So to all of you who haven't, Cantor Fitzgerald, the financial firm once run by Trump's Commerce Secretary, has been forced to clarify that it did not seek to profit from the tariff rollbacks announced on Friday. And in case you don't know what Cantor Fitzgerald is, it's the company that was ran by Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, but he went ahead and stepped down to make sure that there's no conflict of interest. And he went ahead and gave it to his two kids, kind of like Eric and Don Jr. running the Trump organization. Lutnick's kids are Brandon and DJ Kyle. And at ages 28 and 29, respectively, they are clearly the right choices to run this thing. Don't you dare bring up nepotism.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get all hoaxy here on you, but this is the exact analogy. This is the exact same thing that Trump's doing, where he's like, I have nothing to do with this. This is all my flesh and blood from these two failed abortions.
Has anyone gotten their stupid Trump phone yet?
No, and it's never going to happen. Same with their Chinese watches. None of this is going to ever come out.
Like,
do have to tell you though. Do have to say, DJ Kyle Lutnick sounds like the worst person on earth to be stuck in a car with.
DJ Kyle Lutnick sounds like the worst person to be next to if you're drywall.
And did you know Lutnick brought his kids to Epstein Island? Just to let you know how exactly just business it was.
Yeah.
So you know what? Maybe DJ Kyle saw some stuff.
They didn't redact that part. They're like, they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
Yeah. Yikes. Oh, this dumpster fire.
The thing about Lutnick, and I found this out, like apparently he's been the steadfast proponent of the tariffs. Like he's been making people angry, along with like Scott Bessent and National Economic Council chair, like Kevin Hassett. Like he's always been like this hawk for it. And I got bad news for you. Like when Scott Besson is the good guy in this story, like you're screwed. The whole thing about it is, while he was doing all these tariffs and he was pushing it, his kids were buying up tariff what's it called? The refund rights, 20 to 30% of what the company's paid. He's out there doing one thing, and his kids are doing another thing to benefit from it. How that's not a conflict of interest? Like how we can yell about Burisma, Ukraine, and Hunter Biden's laptop all these years and be like, no, this is normal. Like that makes no sense to me.
So I was not aware until a few years ago you can actually do this and the one who I learned from was John Oliver. They did a whole big thing a couple years ago about medical debt and how
Mm-hmm.
companies can just buy up your medical debt at pennies on the dollar and then start chasing you to try and get full payment, which normally nets them about 70 to 80%, just like the Lutniks here did.
Mm-hmm.
And Oliver, at the end of buying up this debt, just forgave it all because he's a gem of a human. But I don't know if I see DJ Kyle and the crew pulling the same thing.
No, like there's no possible way they're doing it for the greater good. Like if you're named DJ Kyle, like you're an a-hole from the
DJ
jump.
Kyle Lutnick. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
So I wanted to go ahead and break this down Bonnie style in case you have any Republican friends and you want to ask them about this one, how this is make America great or putting Americans first or anything else. A guy in the White House convinced his grandpa that having a 50-50 split of imports and exports with a country means you're getting screwed. He's like, you know how we even that out? We do tariffs because we don't sell nearly as much things to China as we buy. So we're going to tariff. So the tariff proposed are not in the power of grandpa, but F it. Why not just ask for forgiveness instead of permission? Companies are then forced to pay these tariffs, raise their pricing. U.S. consumer will go ahead and foot this bill for the larger cost at the store. So one of the examples that they gave was one company got hit with a 10 mil tariff, and they sold it to Cantor Fitzgerald between $2 and $3 million. Now that the fact that these things are lifted, Cantor Fitzgerald is going to make $7 to $8 million on that deal, and that wasn't the only deal they made. And if you notice that the only time I brought up a U.S. consumer was in the bent over couch position, that's by design. We're not getting our money back.
Yeah, it'll never happen. But did you see what was his name? Pitzker up in Illinois did?
No.
Oh, he sent a letter and he was like, by your numbers, by what we've paid in tariffs, you owe everybody in Illinois, every household, $1,700. Release it now.
Well, that sounds like communism.
Yeah, it's only communism when it's not the big companies taking it all.
Like,
Yeah, then California ended up sending a similar letter where he was like, "You owe us this much." Nothing's ever going to come of any of this, but it's nice that they were able to do the math.
yeah. And the fact that you got the president on tape be like, these tariffs are giving us trillions upon billions, quadrillions of dollars. It's like, we will reduce your national debt. Like, wait, they're unconstitutional. Like, uh-oh.
He didn't say "uh-oh" when it came up unconstitutional. But more on that later.
That stuff doesn't matter. We're a nation of laws until it's time to break them.
Yeah, precisely.
So, in another thing of the bizarro world, the White House has insisted that last year's strikes against Iran destroyed the country's nuclear program, despite recent claims by a senior U.S. official that Tehran is now a week away from having bomb-making material.
I gotta jump in and correct you. We did not say we destroyed the nuclear program. We said obliterated.
If you're working in the White House press corps, like, all right, these are my marching orders. We killed everyone in Iran. Everything is good. Like, wait, what? He's tweeting what now?
I want to feel bad for White House staffers to have to do this stuff. Like, hey, ChatGPT, what would a methed out moron say about this? And be like, all right, here you go, pal.
You have to, like, you wake up in the morning, like 6 o'clock, grabbing your coffee, like, oh boy, bright and early, starting my day. Like, this mother effer was tweeting at 2 o'clock, contradicting what I said. Like, God, it's going to be a long Tuesday.
Oh, did we cover the Obama ape clip?
Oh, we should have. The King of the Jungle thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. If it's coming from the Truth Social, you know it's coming directly from his fingers. 12 hours later, it was a staffer.
Yeah, you telling me this narcissist shares his password or somebody? Like, get the F out of here.
Not a chance.
So,
Oh, you know what I just thought of?
huh.
How big do you think he has the letters on the screen?
Oh, I think he's got a keyboard attached to it.
Yeah, I went and saw my parents back in Missouri
Uh huh.
2 weekends ago, and I saw my old man pull out his phone, and it had to have been half a keyboard. I was like, "This is the biggest lettering I've ever seen." And at 2 in the morning when your eyes are getting tired, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like,
gotta be the biggest stupid he's gotta be doing this on an iPad or something.
well, what's it called? I just Googled Trump on the phone, and the only time, like, everything he's got, like, it's always just connected to a landline. And there's about 3 pictures of him looking at a cell phone, and he does not look like he knows what's going on. Like,
Well,
honestly, go ahead and
maybe he's
just,
dictating to a staffer.
just Google Trump on the phone and hit the old images tab, and they're all on the left side, and he's just staring at the phone, and he's got no idea what's happening. It's like you gave Grandpa a gift, and he's like, I don't know, I can't look for porn on here.
Well, it sounds like the kind of guy, the tech savvy, know your product type that I would buy a $500 golden phone from.
From Timu.
Ugh.
But we started this whole thing off for you with the toilets, and let's get back into that because, in case you forgot, Operation Midnight Hammer came towards the end of a 12-day war that Israel initiated with Iran last month, and now is about 8 months ago. And that's when we obliterated everything down there. Now we got the world's largest aircraft carrier, and it's hanging out in the Gulf. And this one's actually hitting a couple hurdles right now because all the poopers on this thing are apparently backed up. And guys are waiting about 30 to 45 minutes to go take a number two. And honestly, if you've never had to go to the bathroom on the open ocean, like you don't know how much stress that could cause you having to wait 30 to 45 minutes because you can't go anywhere else, man. It's going to get rough.
Somebody, you know what? I'm glad our defense budget's so big that we could probably scrounge up a couple drywall buckets to shoot over.
They got the Home Depot buckets out there.
Why do we pay more than like the other countries 2 through 12 combined on military and nothing seems to work?
What's it called? It's I forgot, it was Instagram or something. I saw a thing like people were talking about America, like something third world countries. Like America's not a first world country. Like they are three third world countries wrapped together with a budget of big enough to take on God for their military. I was like, you know what? That makes sense. We don't care
Yeah,
about our
fair.
citizens, but our military budget is enough to fight God.
Well, at least we have our priorities.
Yeah. So honestly, I thought we were going to be fighting Iran today. From what I actually read about it, like we're clearly going to be bombing them by now. And one of the things like I heard about is because they were starting to serve surf and turf to the military bases. And if you ever been ready to go to war, you know that when you see that good meal instead of the stupid corn dog that you're used to having every time, like you're going to go ahead and kill somebody the next day. And it's like the small center of a Venn diagram between people in the military and people on death row. Like you're getting a good meal at a certain point, but like the fact that they're doing this and the pizza shops in the area, it's they actually linked it to pizza shops in DC. When they start getting a lot of late night orders, that usually means something's about to happen. It happened with Maduro, and it looks like our president's angling to get the Nobel Peace Prize once again.
Yeah, peace through randomly swinging at anybody.
It's wild.
Why are we
But
doing this?
the what? It's another thing actually came out. It wasn't just the fact that the toilets don't work and you can't send people to battle when they can't poop out their steak and lobster. Our current chief of staff, Dan Raising Kane. Do you remember how he took over?
I remember something about he was replacing somebody who had more accolades, something like that.
Yes. So he ended up replacing General Charles Q. Brown Jr. He was fired by Hegseth because Hegseth said yada yada woke woke woke. The whole thing about it though, usually chiefs of staff are actually appointed to a 4-year post, but he was appointed to it by Biden, so that's one thing right there. But he was a 4-star, and they put this guy who's a 3-star retired general, and they confirmed him at 2 a.m. with the Senate. So, you know that's the good at working hours. And if you want to go ahead and Google image for General Brown, you can make your own assumptions of why he was fired.
Typing in now.
Uh-huh.
Brown. Yep. Well, that settles that one.
Couple shades too dark for the administration to be fans of. But like at the time, let's see, Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi said, the Chinese Communist Party continues an expansive military buildup, and our adversaries continue to band together against the United States. He's like, President Trump should have the expertise of a highest ranking military officer in place without any delays. And honestly, nothing says expertise like promoting a retired 3-star over a 4-star like general who, and the 3-star doesn't meet the requirements. I had no idea, but to be a chief of staff, there were actual requirements that you had to meet, but the 3-star did not. And something, I guess, DEI.
You know, I think it's nice that this guy got a cool promotion that he clearly, deserved. Dramatic eye roll for those of you not watching the video. Did I also hear Raisin Cane was retired?
Yes, he was literally retired. And they brought him out. He's like, we need a white face. Put him in.
Yeah, that sounds like us these days.
I mean, I will give him credit the fact that he did say that he's not going to be a yes man. And he's actually pushing back on the administration because things are coming out that like, listen, like with Maduro, you got a little bit cocky. We went in there with helicopters, did everything at night, used some weapons that we're not supposed to talk about, released that out into the world. But he's like, you can't just surgically strike Iran in one night. Like, this is going to be essentially Afghanistan for the Soviets if we do this.
Well, it is nice that he's saying this, and I can't wait for 3 weeks from now when we take away that 4th star and he becomes the worst decision we've ever had because he was a complete Democrat plant hoax.
He's like, this guy's horrible. Who appointed him? He's like, you!
Soldier boy, tell him.
What if they just keep getting whiter and whiter generals? Like the next one straight up albino, and no one after him can't even go out into the sun or he'll just burn.
I'd love to go that route, but Ireland already hates us.
Yeah.
Translucent people.
Just one is a full-on fish. You can see through him. He's like, you can't get any whiter with this one. He's like, he better be good. He's like, well, he's white. He's like, that's my only requirement.
Close enough. We're so screwed.
Did you watch any of the Olympics?
I watched a little bit. Honestly, not an Olympic guy.
I mean, there was a couple of things that came out to it. One of the things was the actual like hockey game. It was going to be, it was always going to be Canada versus the U.S. and they both came pretty close to not making it to the end. But I actually, when we were still driving, I went ahead and just watched it on the phone, and it went into overtime. It was a hell of a game. It was wild.
I've heard nothing but good things. I had all intentions on watching it at 8 a.m., and then I got a text at 11 for merch now available. Completely missed that one out.
So, did you hear, like, apparently it's a very big deal, the fact that the U.S. team, the men's team, won, because they haven't done that since the 1980s. In 1980 was the last time the U.S. had actually won, the men's team has actually won gold, and the Soviet Union went on to win 2 more effing medals before we got our first. So apparently the men's team winning is huge, and Trump went ahead and called him when Kash Patel was hanging out with him when he said he wasn't, and he's like, I guess I'll also invite those broads as well. And have you heard about the history of a women's hockey team?
This one I did look into, yes.
Like, for anyone who doesn't know about it, women's hockey team is operating in a similar orbit to like the women's soccer team. Very underappreciated. And these chicks have been bringing home gold this year, 2018, and the inaugural year when it first started in 1998. And if you take a look at it, they've had a podium finish every single time. So even the times they won first, they either got silver or bronze. It's insane. Meanwhile, like the president, who's clearly not in the Epstein files, and never mentioned dating his own daughter, made a joke that he would totally invite them. Like, those chicks are putting on a clinic. Like, if anything, they should be invited first because they are consistently winners.
Yeah, sounds like a DEI hoax. If we're being honest here, no, it's ridiculous. He is a world-class a-hole. And yeah, women's hockey's been doing work.
I had no idea about a podium finish every time and took gold like that many times. Like, it's wild. But everything does kind of have a little bit of a silver lining because the women's like hockey team, they said, "No, man, we're not coming to the State of the Union." But Flavor Flav reached out to him and he said, "Hey, man, come to Vegas, do some nice dinners and shows and good times with the team." And he hoped that a hotel and an airline will also jump in as well. And if we're being honest, Flavor Flav in Vegas versus a 6'3", 215-pound man in diapers and googly-eyed Cash Patel, like it's Flavor Flav's 8 out of the 7 times.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Flav step up and be like, "Party's on me, come on out." And then was nice enough to go, any hotel or anybody else want to throw out a little help here?
Yeah.
And evidently they've got hotels lined up, they've got shows lined up. I think it was Ticketmaster who, say what you will about their terrible practices, reached out and were like, "We got you covered. You want to go to the Sphere? Let's do this."
We've been making money hand over fist. We got something to spare to make our image look a little bit better. Like, sure, we'll toss you a couple cheap seats.
Yeah, their hotels done, restaurants reached out. This is awesome, and I think we replaced Snoop with Flavor Flav.
Yeah, Snoop's still lost. He's out there yelling about trannies, but he was like during the Olympics. So I'm like, he's really trying to rehab his image. Like, dude, 1990 Snoop would have shot 2026 Snoop.
2016 Snoop would have shot 2026 Snoop. Every time he's mentioned at all with anything politically, first thing that pops up is that Instagram video he released where he's calling Nelly and Uncle Tom and telling him get his tap dancing shoes on for massa and all that. And then here he goes selling out.
Like, here I am at your crypto launch party. Like, where do you want me to dance?
The hardest part about dealing with Snoop Dogg is when you were growing up, your parents were terrified about what he'd do. And now that your parents are into it, you're like, this guy's got to go, man.
I'm not a fan of him anymore. This guy sucks.
I hate gin and juice.
It's too spicy. Give me that salted chicken. That's what you should be rapping about.
Too spicy. That's good.
So, keeping on the topic of the Olympics, last time if you listened to the last episode or just saw it in there, it was actually a graphic of a skeleton racer from Ukraine, Vladislav Heraskevich, and how the IOC was actually responding to him. What happened out of that whole thing, like, he had pictures of people. He didn't have a Ukrainian flag on there. No mention of a war, just athletes who weren't at the games because they were dead. He called it a helmet of memory, and he wanted to wear it. The IOC went ahead and said, no, you can't wear it. And part of their justification was there's 130 conflicts going on during the Olympics. Like, we can't have all of them be featured on the field of play. Like, IOC, not a good look.
Skeleton racing's like a one-man luge where you're rolling at like 80 miles an hour, right? Yeah, let that man wear whatever he wants.
Yeah, like, it's not talking anything about the war. It's literally people who are dead. They got blown up. Some of them died on the front lines when they had to go there. And what made it most hilarious, well, not really hilarious, but sometimes all you can do is laugh about it, is the IOC is like, oh yeah, we're not allowed to have Russian country won't be represented. There were Russian flags in the crowd. Like, some of the athletes had their Russian flags, and one of the actual Russian Lugers had a company that makes drones that kill people. Like, they had it on there, and the IOC is like, no, that one's fine. But pictures of your dead friends on a helmet, like, we can't let that slide.
That would have been the Olympians.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason these people aren't here. He's not putting anything. He's not anything bloody. He's like, these were my friends who are unable to be here because we're fighting to not get wiped off the planet. Be like, yeah, but you're not a drone making company. You haven't sponsored anything.
Yeah, why Israel won't just let him put those pictures on his helmet, I'll never know.
So, like, he tried to have a meeting with the head of IOC, Kirsty Coventry, and the worst part about it is, like, when he had that meeting and he was going to go to arbitration the next day, like, at that meeting he learned that they already made the decision to not let him race with the helmet. And it sucks so much because this wasn't just a fringe athlete. In the qualifiers, he finished first on all the heats, and that guy had a very good chance of actually having a podium finish, if not, like, at the top. And when you train for something your whole life for an event that only takes place every 4 years, to have a ball to be like, hey man, I'm standing up for my ideals, like that's an Olympic thing. Not letting him race because of a helmet and you'll think you'll offend Russia, like that is the most un-Olympic thing on the planet.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, just started back at the gym, shredding for the wedding.
Nice.
Um, went and did a little cardio today, and I swear on all that's holy, after the 45 minutes I put in on that treadmill, if I'm not 6'3", 215 pounds when I get home, I'm gonna lose my ever loving mind. So 4 years of that just to be told by some a-hole, you're like, no, sorry, you can't have pictures of all these would-be Olympians who are dead on your helmet. Up all of your races.
Yeah, like, and another thing, what makes it even worse is the fact that Paralympics are about to start, and Russia's actually allowed to fly their flag at the Paralympics. And most of the guys who are Paralympic were because they fought in Ukraine. Like, they went there, lost their legs, and now they're coming there to be Olympians. Like, that's a display of people who were actual soldiers. Like, I don't get it, man. But good thing is, like, he's actually appealing the decision in a court that's not ran by the IOC. But again, even if he wins the appeal, like, you can't go back and race in something. You're not going to be at the same prime as you were. Like, this is a sport. It's the best of the best. Like, he's missing out on a hell of an opportunity just because he wanted to show what his dead friends like display him on a helmet.
Or he comes back in 4 years, more pissed off and better than ever.
Just stacked, just diesel, sets like breaks world records.
And then takes the whole podium time to just trash that lady who said he couldn't do it in the first place.
Just starts off with a Tupac hit him up like, first of all, you know the rest of the lyrics.
Can't wait for it. The block 4 years, I will watch him come back. Speaking of cold words, in the cold words of Marlo Stanfield, price of a brick's going up. On Sunday, as we were all anxiously waking up to see if we attacked Iran yet, America joined a different war and linked up with Mexico and took out the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, as I will be calling it from here on out, taking out El Mencho. El Mencho moved quickly and fiercely into the power vacuum left by El Chapo after his extradition to the U.S. in 2017. They always say cut the head off the snake, right? Well, unfortunately, a whole S-load of snakes came out of this open hole as roughly 30 attacks on Mexican towns. Dude, have you seen any of these videos? Because I think all of Mexico is on fire.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of them. Like, the guys who rolled up are like, oh man, like their army looks really good. It's like, that's not the army, buddy. Like, that's the actual cartel, like, armed to the teeth.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they, this ain't Venezuela, homie.
Did you hear how they have all that as well?
Well, how? You wouldn't be suggesting that some sort of military industry complex run here in the United States would be selling anything to them, would you?
Well, I'm not suggesting, but it's one thing that I saw on Twitter a while back. It was two guys arrested essentially in the States because it's kind of like the Iran-Contras deal, except we didn't even get drugs back in this trade, out of the deal and all. But it's like apparently we sent millions upon millions of dollars to these cartels, like the same thing that we're trying to do over in Canada to try to destabilize a place so we can come in and be the saviors. Like apparently we're doing that down there.
Well, good to know. Once again, we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
So as the count of last night, we have 30 cartel members dead, 25 Mexican National Guard members dead. Take a wild guess at civilians because they're not counted yet. And shelter-in-place orders have stranded Americans in Mexico. Seeing some of these videos people are coming through, it's not like that one time we went to a different country and had shelter-in-place orders and we said, nah, we'll be all right. These people look terrified.
Yeah, because they're out there shooting things up in the street, man. Like, cartels don't mess around. Like, they burn people alive in, like, trash cans. Like, you don't cross them.
I see you've been watching The Shield.
I mean, I watched Narcos and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, I've heard a few stories.
So the real question you know, aside from which gang is going to end up taking over now, who you think we're going to send to become czar and de-escalate?
Well, fresh off his Chicago campaign, clearly it's going to be Greg Bovino. He's like, we can't release him on that. Like, that guy's meant for U.S. citizens.
All right, guys, we're going to set up over at Home Depot. End of things we're going into.
You know, can we just take out the light cartel members? Like, what do you mean those guys have guns? Like, I'm not used to this.
Yeah. Let's send Bovino down there with his pepper spray and see how that turns out.
This Hugo Boss wardrobe, like, they'll get set on fire.
Yeah, he's going to end up with a sweet new necktie. So more trouble brewing in the House of Representatives as Representative Tony Gonzalez of Texas is facing calls from within his own party to resign. For those of you who don't know, Big Tony had an affair with a staffer named Regina Santos Aviles that ended with her suicide by self-immolation back in September. This broad set herself on fire.
I never understand it. I just Googled Regina, not an ugly girl by any means.
Oh no, hot broad.
Yeah. It's like when you take a look at these pictures of like the teachers sleeping with students, be like, the chick's a 10. Like, I can't even match with anybody on Tinder. And this guy's over here getting broads to set themselves on fire for him. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Are you looking at a side-by-side picture of the two?
He outkicked his coverage.
By about 30 years, 100 pounds, and a complete facelift.
Very different zip codes.
They don't look like the same species.
Is he hung like a horse?
No. I think he convinced somebody that he has a shot at being president one day.
That guy?
That is the only thing I can think of.
Makes no sense to me, man. The world's a weird place.
So the investigation eventually led to a bunch of inappropriate texts between Tony and Regina getting leaked. And it don't look great for old Tony. But this is the GOP, and you and your logic need not apply. Big Tony grabbed a page one, had a fart of the deal, and hit him with the old number one fastball straight down the pipe. It's a hoax. Yes, Big Tony claims that not only is he innocent, but he accuses Brandon Herrera, or as he's known on YouTube, the AK guy, of masterminding the smear campaign because, wouldn't you know it, AK guy is also his main competition for his House seat this year.
I mean, if anything, he does qualify for the highest office in the land if he's out there doing these things to women. Like, that's something Trump should is like, you know what? Game recognizes game.
Buddy, it's bad. And also, when the AK guy is your serious competition for your House seat, do better, Texas. Do better.
But founding fathers, if you put one of them back up here, like, all right, what kind of scholarly gentlemen do we have in office today? It's like, I don't know. We have YouTube celebrities and guys who bankrupt casinos. Like, what the elf? He's like, we didn't account for this in the Constitution. Like, how dumb are you people? Like, oh, we're real dumb.
Also, why are your slaves in suits on that other side of the aisle?
We didn't really mean all of them are created equal.
You didn't see that 3/5 thing we slid in there? Come on, guys.
We put a couple asterisks in the actual thing. Come on.
Yeah, we were wrong. Yeah, it turns out they were wrong about everything. So,
what's the Negro doing drinking from my water fountain? Like, whoa, dial it back.
Yeah,
Abraham.
Exactly. But the founding fathers would the founding fathers also would have seen a building 15 stories tall and their heads would have exploded. How is that possible?
It's like saying Jesus take the wheel. Like, that guy wasn't alive when there was cars. Like, that's how you crash, homie.
A few high-profile Republicans like Massey, Boebert, and Mace, and again, I can't believe Boebert and Mace are on our side again, have been publicly calling for his immediate resignation. Missing from that list, however, is MAGA Mike Johnson, who said, quote, as in every case like this, you have to allow the investigation to play out and all the facts to come out. If the accusation of something is going to be the litmus test for someone being able to continue to serve in the House, you'll have a lot of people who would have to resign or be removed or expelled from Congress. That is the point.
We have horrible candidates. We can't just jump at the first offense. Like, we gotta be at least 4 or 5 strikes, guys.
Guys, it's like the Epstein files. If we release everybody's name, you're going to know we're all bad people, and we can't do that right now. It's quiet part out loud, man.
I love it, GOP. Like, the fact that, like, after every school shooting, you're like, whoa, well, let's not jump to conclusions here. Like, we need to let the process play out. And then, like, one guy goes, takes a shot at Trump, be like, the Democrats are evil.
Yeah, it shall not be infringed for the Uvalde kids, but Alex Preddy is a domestic terrorist now.
Like,
Got it.
grab the AR-15 pins. We're gonna have them right next to the American flag for this one. Like, school kids? No, we're good. Fair enough.
Fair enough. So once again, another Christ-like response from our little predator-protecting ass weasel, as the Republican majority is dwindling fast and might, supposedly, it's possible, they even lose their majority before the midterms, with even more rumors of resignations coming. I cannot wait for the Hague trials.
Well, you don't need Republicans when you're going to have a king, buddy. Like, they're all just quitting because, like, yeah, we don't have any voice right now anyway. We just vote down what he tells us to do. Like, what's the point?
Oh, I think I think I still have faith in this country. I think even if things go poorly and they refuse to certify midterms and they sick ice on all of humanity, I think we figured out over the past 6 months. All we have to do is like show them a math problem with 3 different sets of numbers and, just come back 6 months later when they're still trying to pick fleas out of each other's hairs or something. This isn't the crack. These aren't the Green Berets they're sending to patrol our streets here.
I mean, those guys. What's the Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Frank Reynolds? So that I start blasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have a bunch of Frank Reynolds and ice.
I got my wad of cash. Got my Magnum condoms.
That's probably exactly what it is. I already beat my wife this morning.
Yeah, spit on a black kid, and it's been a productive day.
Now I feel like a man.
Then you crouch down to high five Bambino, and
and he throws up a 45-degree from the heart salute at you.
Yeah, what is it with people under 5'6" just hating the world so bad? How did we let them rise to power?
Bullying. We got rid of bullying.
Yeah. This is on us, Democrats.
We have social media. We could be bullying at levels unheard of. Like, we could be destroying lives. Like, you mess up in the 2nd grade, that stuff's on 1080 p high def. We should be ruining these nerds.
Yeah, and since all these red states keep blocking porn sites, why aren't we using that free time to just find ways to bully these people?
Going back to the Sears catalog, that's why.
Yeah. Well, sounds like I got catalogs to pick up.
Yeah.
Never mind. We're in Arizona.
That's the one. Well, that's about as red as you can get. So, we'll see you guys later this week. It's been a blast. I actually missed doing this, and we're never short on content.
Yeah, as this administration is just the plentiful well of screw ups and hilarity, and it's nice to think about that instead of the horrible dangers.
Humor's tragedy plus time. I'm Alex Midway. See you guys later.
And I'm Eric Halsey.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.